On the call is Heishma, head football coach at Prairie View. Prairie View had an open week, and this week, here in 11, they will travel to Alcorn State for a 6:30 kickoff. Good morning, Coach Northern. Are you with us?
Yes, sir, I am.
Morning, Coach. If you could talk about some of the things you went over in your bye week and preview Alcorn.
Well, due to the weather up here, we only practiced really about 2 days. We had some real bad storms come through and washed us out, and we're at a situation where the students sort of have overcall on getting in the gym if we have practice during certain hours, and so we just had to walk through a couple mornings. We did practice, I want to say maybe twice. Did a lot of class checks. Hopefully we got some guys healthy, and did some recruiting, some scouting of some high school kids in our area, and pretty much we got back to work on Sunday night, our normal practice routine, and I thought we had a pretty good practice last night. I think we got some guys sort of refreshed, and I think we had some guys paying attention to detail. We talk about the small things, and now we get back to our regular routine as players and as coaches. The only thing that's different, we play on a Thursday night this week, and we'll leave out Wednesday and head over to Natchez and hopefully get a good day's of rest and get ready to play a football game. We've been talking to our team about, you can't keep saying that you're a good football team if you don't beat other good football teams. And, looking at all the teams that we've beaten, they hadn't won a lot of football games. We have a chance now to beat a team that's in a very similar situation as us that, sort of have something to play for, but, you sort of need some help. And, like I said, we just talked to our guys about winning one in a row on a consistent basis, and hopefully we can go to Lorman and win one in a row this week.
All right, the floor is now open for Heishma Northern, head football coach at Prairie View A&M.
Hey, Coach Northern, good morning. This is Charles Edmond from WPRL.
Yes, sir.
Give us your thought on the Braves, what you see on tape.
It's almost like looking at us. If you change the helmets and the uniforms, you'll see a up-tempo offense, a lot of zone, a lot of screens, some short passes, but the quarterback still can hit you up top if you get careless in your defense. But I see a team that's just like us that can do a variety of things on offense. I see a team that's just like us, sort of plays well in spurts on defense, plays well in spurts on special teams, and sometimes just can't find a way to get out of their own way to get that one or two plays that make a difference in you winning and losing the ball game. So, like I say, we look forward to the challenge of sort of playing against ourselves and see which team in purple and gold can outdo the other and not making mistakes and doing a good job of tackling in space and doing a good job of stopping the other team from running the football.
Well, Coach, you're going to be looking at Arnold Walker, and he's had a string of, I believe, 4 straight 100-yard games. Talk about him.
Yeah, I mean, he hadn't just started being a good football player. He is a tough runner. You see him line up in a Wildcat. You see him be able to do a lot of things. He can catch the ball well. You see him be able to run the football. So, we're going to have our hands full. We're going to have to pay attention to exactly where is he lined up at in terms of the depth and how wide he is and all those small things that can give you a few clues to here and there. But at the end of the day, you got to find a way to get him to the ground. You can't just run up there and hit him. I was looking at some runs that he had in the Alabama A&M game. He was hit at the line of scrimmage on quite a few occasions. Next thing you know, it's 1st and 10 and it's 2nd and 5 on the next play because he does a good job. He runs with great balance. Great leverage, and he's not going to be easy to tackle. So we got to make sure we get a lot of hats to the ball and get him to the ground. It might not be sometimes you may have to get ran over to get him to the ground, but that's what it takes to stop his forward progress, and that's what we have to do, just get people to the ground.
Yeah, Coach, just talk about what you see on the standings. I mean, you had a chance against Jackson State a couple of weeks ago, considering that Southern lost and they bounced back, and you kind of just sit back and see how that thing unfolds. And you got 2 teams, as you mentioned, that need a little bit of help. What's kind of been the message to your team and trying to keep them fired up with just a few games left?
win one in a row, because that's what you're supposed to do. And I talked to our team about, the thing is, you should prepare the same way regardless of your record. So forget the fact that we still have a lot on the line. We want to win a football game. And another thing is, like I said, you can't keep saying you're a good team if you don't beat other good teams. So we have to find a way to beat a good team. And this is the next good team that's on our schedule. So that's what I'm preaching to our guys, not worrying about the race. Because if you start looking around, you'll hit a hurdle while you're running down the track. So we don't talk about where we are in the standings. We just talk about winning one game in a row.
Coach, when you look at Alcorn's pass defense, they're ranked in the FCS. So they were in that category. What do you see in the Braves D?
A bunch of guys that play hard. That's pretty much all I can say from that standpoint. But sometimes statistics can be deceiving. You can rank very high if you're looking at yards or are you looking at interceptions. What makes them rank so high? And, if you're playing against a team that everybody's running the football on, of course they may not give up a lot of yards, because like I say, that's not something we don't talk about statistics. We just think that is a good defense. They show you a lot of different looks. They can come at you from everywhere. They do a good job of getting pass rush with 3 guys sometimes, and they do a good job of getting a pass rush with 6 or 7 if they need to. So at the end of the day, our guys are going to have to pay attention to how they lined up and make sure we keep on making plays like we have been.
Coach, sort of interesting, you had a bye week and then you got a Thursday night game, so sort of interesting in terms of trying to get the rest and the other stuff in.
Yeah, I think it sort of worked in our favor, actually, playing on Thursday, because we have another home game next week, so it works a little bit. It gives us a couple of extra days to get prepared for the following game, as well as we didn't, even though it's 1 or 2 days different, it gets us back in the mindset of getting ready to play football and not getting out of your rhythm so much. So it came at a good time, because we do have a lot of guys nicked up. Sometimes as a coach, some guys are going to milk that off week, but at the same time, our guys really needed it.
Coach, appreciate it.
Yes, sir.